Are there any gifts to you? No, no gifts, so I'm not gonna do a welcome and all that. We're all here. Draft agenda reviews for regular meetings. Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, and hope everyone had an awesome time for giving thanks for their family, friends, or loved ones. Back to work for us, so we'll jump right into our agenda review. The first one we will go through is some recognitions. That we will recognize bullying prevention. You know, October was Bullying Prevention Month, and we did a public service announcement throughout elementary and secondary schools. And we will acknowledge 28 students through the PSA video contest. We will take these videos and we will upload them through our social media coming up after we acknowledge them, just to have so individuals in our community can see the great work that our students have done in elementary and secondary to the 28 students that were identified the winners. The next one is recognizing Petticoat Schmitz civil contractors. They provided $20,000 to $25,000 to Orange Park High School's baseball program field, and they redid their entire baseball field, lasered it, resodded it, and it's just want to recognize them for their commitment and contribution to our school district. Next one is recognizing the 2017 Founders Week Art Contest. This is a contest where we identify 6 individuals for their were the contributions for looking at historical figures and documents that influence foundations of our government. We will also, this is the month we will celebrate Jim Harbin Student Media Festival recognition. I believe there's around 70 students that have been recognized and will be recognized. There'll be around a 5-minute video that will be provided for our students. I don't know, we have to talk about whether 70 kids are coming, students are coming, but I think we're just going to acknowledge them at their school and highlight their names.
This could be the whole student showcase right
I
there.
know. All right, so we go to C1, which was our school board minutes from last time.
When we did our organizational meeting, I was just looking, we selected the date as the first Thursday, except for the month of July, which we switched because of the 4th of July. Did we leave January as January 4th? Okay.
Do we need to adjust?
I'm just planning my Christmas tree.
No. Just,
I wasn't sure if we moved it or
if we need
not.
to adjust.
It's-
that's
no,
another
I'm
problem.
No,
good.
that's 3 days.
Let's-
after
yeah,
The kids are
first.
back from the
The
school.
kids are
That's the
back.
first
They
day of
are.
school.
Yeah.
No reason
So we
to
aren't
change
on.
it.
I think we gotta
What's
come
the
back
first
the
day of
second.
school?
I think
The
it's
second.
January 4th.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
No.
Tuesday.
Third?
The teachers go
fourth.
back.
Okay, yeah, I know
Teachers go back
I
and
know I
then
come back the next
First
day.
Thursday, we're bringing it back on
I know on the
Thursday.
first and then I
Usually
come.
We usually give the teachers a couple of planning days.
Right.
And then
The
noon
students.
service day and then
Well, that used to be for
students.
grades, but now they won't have
they
their
have,
grades to do their grades with them.
there's still plenty of planning to do after Christmas.
Well, if you see there's an opportunity for us to adjust, let us
And
know
they
still
have to do
early
them
so we
anyway,
can
'cause
adjust.
it's
No, no, I'm
later for
fine.
some.
I just wasn't sure if we moved it or not.
Yes, ma'am. All right, C2 is just a personnel consent agenda. I'll see anything major on this one. C3 is our overnight out-of-state travel for CTE programs. We have a number of FFA going out to compete. C4 is the Keystone Behavioral Pediatric Contracts. I know that we put this item on hold, I believe 2 months ago, in order to determine whether or not we can find additional supports for student within our school district. We know that after looking into a number of considerations of supports, we believe that the Keystone Behavior Pediatrics contract is the best for the student that we serve because they have very specialized offering for our kids. They have one-on-one techniques for social emotional behaviors. They do a great job with the integrated and kinesthetic therapies. And then the current cost, as you see this contract, is $154,000. If we were going to try to offer that in-house, it would cost us an additional $50,000 to $60,000 to duplicate the services that the Keystone Behavioral Pediatric contract provides to the student. Through the board's request, we rigorously looked at different initiatives and offerings, and we believe this to be the best, continue to be the best contract for the student that we serve.
Terry Roth talked to each of the board members?
She spoke to me.
No. She was gonna try to call everyone last night about 5.
I was home.
Maybe she left a message on it.
Okay. After talking at length with her because of our concerns before with the gentleman, I assure you that when she explains to you, and he is now no longer with that firm, and he is the ex-husband, so the ties are cut there, and she has done extensive discussion with them, and everybody, I feel comfortable with it now. And like Mr. Davis said, if there's really not another place that does all that they do, and it would cost us a whole lot more if we try to go somewhere else. But after talking with her, but she told me, you know, when I hang up, I'm calling all the board members to talk to them, but I want to talk to you first. And I couldn't talk to her when I had 15 in the house. But I personally am comfortable with it now.
Mr. McCauley, Professor?
I just wanted to share too with the board members that with 20% of our students in Clay County with IEPs of some form or another, that's a lot of students. We don't take this decision lightly when it comes to looking for programs for an individual child like this. We have less than 10 kids that we look for very specialized programming because of their needs. So we understand that we have to be very prudent with our decision making, our financial responsibilities, et cetera. And this particular student, having seen myself, this is a good place. I'm very familiar with the program just from my previous life, and trust that they are working. And in fact, we have seen improvements with this student, so that's the encouraging part about this. I certainly understand the position the board is in when you're looking at accusations and headlines and, oh my gosh, what does that mean for us? And we certainly want to make sure that that follows through and clarity is brought for all of us, particularly as users. So the decision was very careful, and from a fiscal standpoint, this was the best place that we could find for the student.
Okay. Thank you. C5 is our Kindred Hospital contract. This is our annual contract with Project Search. This is for students who are eligible students who are on access points to obtain direct clinical internships. This is where they will work collectively with to work in certain areas to help them become marketable in the workplace after Clay County schools. They'll be able to look at housekeeping, maintenance, or general office skills. They'll learn a number of opportunities for them to make them marketable for future employment.
This is
I would-
another one
if I
that
could-
Ms. Roth wants to talk to us about.
Yeah.
I would love for you guys to come out and see the students interacting in this environment. It is incredible.
Once Terry Roth explains it to you, I think you'll be comfortable with it. So
Yeah.
they've done a lot of work on this one.
It's awesome for our kids, at no cost. C6 is just approval of out-of-county student travel, K-12 academics. 2 that we will highlight that the Middleburg High School's band will be going to FSU in Tampa. These are, one was the 17th and 18th. We've had a conversation with Middleburg, and one is going to be on the 30th. So that's the only one that will be post prior to us going to our board meeting. C7 is proposed allocation changes. The only thing that we have right here is that we have SPJ that's going to obtain an ESOL assistant because they qualify through the numbers, and then we're just cleaning up staff allocation models through Clay High School's lead custodian to custodian. Just making sure we get the name correct, consistent with the entire district. C8 is amendments, budget amendment for the month of October. C9 is the warrants and vouchers for October. C10 is financial reports. As always, please stop me. C11 is property reports for furniture and equipment within the organization. C12 is any AV materials that we have within the organization. C13 monthly report for software. C14 is update where we are financials for vehicles for accountability. C15 is deletion of certain items. C16 is the Clay County Utility Authority Agreement for Discovery Oaks Elementary. This is just the easement access for water for Clay Utility for Discovery Oaks. So we're starting to get a lot of stuff done. Any updates you want to provide, Doc?
No, that's
On
on the
Bryce?
CCUA.
Yeah,
Jim, anything?
or anything from DOE.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Going on. C17 is just pre-qualifications for contractors. C18 is just a final completion of high school culinary renovations, just remodeling the kitchen floor and plumbing. C19 is a supplemental spot survey, just making sure that we add match environment facilities plan by adding, I think we added the ACE building that's going up at Fleming Island, just to make sure that we are current. C20 is just looking at, is also the implementation of the building for phase 1 and 2 plans for specifications for the ACE. That means architectural plans are complete and we are beginning to initiate the building process. This will be, as we said, once again, over a 5,000 square foot testing facility, multi-purpose testing facility through ACE, which will have a beautiful opportunity for our kids at that program. C21 is a change order for direct purchasing to have tax savings on Discovery Oaks Elementary. This will be a tax savings for around $273,000 that we will save in our building. C22 is the final completion of our front entrance security at multiple schools with Middleburg, Green Cove, Keystone Elementary, Ridgeview, and W.E. Cherry. We will continue to make this a priority within our school district as safety is continuously being reviewed as access to our schools.
Is that the camera system that's going to
Yeah, it's the video.
This was, some of them we did the access controls where we have the cards and the codes to get in the front door. Any parent that comes up, they have to be buzzed in, so that you can't just walk into the school. I don't know if you've
Are
been
you
out to.
also the one doing the cameras in the schools?
No, I'm not, but they are working on those as well.
Okay, because the cameras in the elementary, never had them before, and apparently they're put in places where the PE teachers are teaching.
Yeah, well, as I said, we'll look into that as well, but we have been expanding the camera coverage for elementary, junior high, and high school.
Could be comment.
And we've just recently completed Lakeside Elementary School along with SBJ and Lakeside Junior. Those are the 3 schools that we've enhanced security on. Our goal is to try to get coverage on parent pickup zones, front office, bus pickup zones, outside areas that are, and by the way, they're video only, no audio, but it does give an extra layer of safety and security for kids. The intent is safety and security.
Right. And the biggest thing, the only way I would say that a PE teacher is impacted is due to the fact that it's an outside common area that they're trying to review for any kind of potential violations or anyone coming on campus, intruders,
Right.
in order for us to
But we
continue
have to do something with the
pull-
contract, because we have contractual language about it.
Yeah.
Unless we just.
But if
want
there's
to
one
do it.
that's, I mean, if it's like right outside an exterior building, which we should have, and there's a playground or there's a basketball court, then we'll have a conversation with it. I just gotta figure out what, you just let me know what schools.
Sure, the 3 he just mentioned.
Okay.
The teachers are being recorded, and we have contractual language that say teachers are not recorded in their classrooms. Those are the PE classrooms. That covered area, and that area, everybody knows that's where the PE has, they have.
We'll look at it. If there's a different angle we can get,
Yeah,
then
we can look at angles and
That's
camera placement.
We just need to have a conversation, it's contract monitoring at the very least, but it's a part of the contract, it shouldn't just be, we don't
yeah.
They don't deal with
Right,
contract.
we've had some incidents
Well,
with
and what we'll do-
vandalism as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest
Well, I
thing.
was just gonna say, can that involve a timer of some sort on those cameras?
All the
So that
the-
during
But there's a lot of conversation that can happen, the fact
Yeah.
of the matter
During the
is,
day,
we need to have a
during the day,
conversation.
parts of those, or some of those cameras
We'll
don't need
discuss
operation.
Yeah, but you want them to have live feed rolling all the time, just in case you have Addison Davis journeys out of the back of the building, and then we don't know where Addison Davis is. Do we have Addison Davis on camera running around, jumping a fence, or maybe we'll see those things. What we can do is just look at better locations for cameras in order for it not to be directly on an instructor, which I agree.
And I am sure that they will
That's
sit
easy.
with you and get this worked out.
That's an easy one.
So we're obeying within the rules of the contract.
I mean, the teachers came today and they walked into that and
They
so
feel
that's
like they're
really
being,
So, you know, it's
Yeah.
kinda like,
I
we could
understand.
have talked about it before it happened,
well, they,
not after.
Well, it's not
They said
designed,
personnel-
it's really not, it's not designed for that, so it's not, there's not needed the
Strictly
conversation,
safety.
just of acknowledgement of, hey, this is going on, us problem solving to figure out where it's a better placement through our staff. I think we'll be okay with it, though. We'll look at it with those teachers, I promise. Get it done. All right, any other questions? All right, so D1 is 2018 legislative priorities. All right, so I'm gonna give you a draft. I know that the biggest thing was for us to have a one-pager. So, and I
so
wanna
you
make
made
sure.
small print.
We had,
One page, this,
all right, so I have, so this is all draft, so we can punt this, we can move it, we can adjust it. So we just identify the areas that you wanted for us to push through. This is a living document proposal that we have, is still in draft. The only thing we've got to do is, I'm gonna pass this around as well. This is more documents for your,
This is
yes ma'am. I'm gonna pass this down too. So this one is an entire, document that unpacks every one of the priorities that we discussed.
Oh, wow. Do you need one?
So it's, better keep one. So,
This deals with our legislative priorities.
yes ma'am, so you have one that's it's a summary one pager. I guess I do not have one myself. That summary one pager just talks about us transitioning to become school choice within our school district, Clay County School District. And then identifies areas in which that we said or potentially said we wanted to lift and create. And we're looking at providing junior high schools with the option to pursue more rigorous programs through pre-ACE programs. Looking at providing visual performing arts for students within our county. Offering pre-early college and select junior high schools as well. That's a direct feeder to our ACE programs. Provide high school students the option to attend the firefighter EMS Academy, which is a partnership with the Clay County Fire Department, and they're actually really excited about that. Offer middle years IB program, not just have IB at the high school, but also at the junior high school as well. And looking at developing a potential Montessori program in select elementary schools for feeder for a different way of alternative traditional classroom settings and expectations. And then expanding STEAM within our school district in certain elementary and secondary schools to to STEAM, and adding art design. So this is a rough draft, and the last one was just adding transportation. So we've got some cleanup to do on this. And this second document is just a build out of a descriptor with the impact that this will have, expected outcomes, what rollout, and potential financials that will come. I will openly say the biggest financials that we have to complete is the visual performing arts, but everything else is already outlined and identified within this document. So
When we talked about this at our workshop, Betsy, you had a good way of wording it. And you said our ask should just be, we want to become a school, more pro for school choice. And I think somehow the language that Betsy gave us that day should be on here
Okay.
as an ask. Because we're
Okay.
saying what the vision is, but we're not saying what we're asking
okay,
for. And we're just asking for financial support to reach some of these goals.
Right.
And I don't remember exactly how you
Yeah.
said it, but how you said it that day was very good.
Thank you.
So maybe we need to go back.
No, we can go.
and
We can do
actually
that.
we can
No,
say what it
no, we
was,
can-
'cause I don't remember.
So I didn't.
But we don't actually have an ask. And
Yeah.
We need an ask.
So right now, this was the direction I wanted to. My ask to each of you was: should we put the dollars that it would potentially cost for each one of these initiatives on there, or do you do it individually, or do you do it big bucket, or I mean?
I think you could do.
I think
If
that
you
would-
have, if you
I
have a
think
good
it
I
would
think
idea.
the dollar amount is very
be
good.
good to know kind of know.
So add. So I'm gonna add actual
Because from that
ask.
aspect, if it's, like one of them I read was $60,000 times 6 or whatever, so $300,000 or 5. So anyway, 30, so I guess because Discovery Oaks was already done. Anyway, so $300,000 for the STEAM elementaries. So that's not a huge ask, where if we're, going after 5 million,
Right.
it's very different.
Yes, ma'am.
It's realistic.
Yeah, you
And
have
and I will
to-
say, I'm sorry, it's good that it's one page, but it's a lot, and I don't know if anybody's really gonna read it. You know, one page really, they like 5 bullets.
I would even go so far as to say, this is our goal this is the money we need to enhance our programs at the high school level. This is the money we need to enhance our programs at the junior high school level. This is the money we need for elementary school. And then I think it might even be a good idea to supply something like this as a backup, but have your front page be just those bullet points with the dollar amounts. And if you're interested in what we're gonna do with that money, here's the details.
And you might even wanna prioritize, our concern would be whichever one first. Do we wanna do the 6 elementary schools? Do we wanna look at a junior high IB program?
Yes, ma'am.
Feeder, do we want, what's the priority that we'd like to see? And put that one first.
Yes, ma'am.
Prioritize them.
And I think they're just gonna be thrilled that it's nothing more than we want to expand our choice program. So we're not hitting on any of the buzzwords that are going to turn people off. They will be opposed that we join the lawsuit, so they won't wanna hear that, but if we can kind of slide in,
Yes, ma'am.
kind of just.
Let me ask you something. I'm curious. Why sometimes are we spelling program like program and sometimes putting MME?
It's the actual terminology, whether it be through the Cambridge or
I
IB
thought that there
program.
was
Let's dumb it
typos.
down and keep it as
Yeah.
program.
Well, I mean, what the actual.
For the IB, I
No,
can't
the
change
IB is
that.
say IB program,
That's it.
AM, but then
Yeah.
the middle years program me.
Yes, ma'am.
But
It's their actual
You
terminology.
meant to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's it.
Cause I
You
bet
can't
you
change their
over in
language.
Tallahassee, they're gonna say,
I can't
even
spell."
This
correct."
school
Yeah.
needs help.
I mean, I just had to ask. I mean,
Listen,
'cause
I
I thought
hopefully you know that
that's
I'm
weird.
not the greatest speller, but that's correct.
It's the old English spelling. And Cambridge
Well,
is-
if they're not
Be
old English over there,
consistent,
they're gonna
I
think we
guess.
can't spell.
Well, then who's the more intelligent one?
Hey,
in that
right, you
situation?
got that. The only thing I'm concerned about, I mean, this is all needed, but they like the KISS method. They want it short and sweet. So I'm hoping they'll read all this.
Well, I will
Maybe their age
do,
group.
I would do bullets and like
Yeah.
Ashley said, maybe attach, this is the backup, or even go as far as, I don't know if they'd actually read this,
Yeah.
but attach a backup
Yes,
and
ma'am.
just say, this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the short
Yep.
version, the clip notes of what we'd like.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I will take your recommendation. I will try to get that done by close of business Tuesday to send to you. So if there are any adjustments you want to look at and push back, then we'll make adjustments. So right now, I'll go back and look at the actual ask and try to look at some wordsmithing that Mrs. Condon incorporated. And then we'll have a bulleted, broke down by grade band about what we're trying to accomplish in our choice attached to funding. All right, thank you.
Good.
I appreciate it, the feedback. And then I get with, get with Ms. Paiva. about something like this. And then the last one was D2, special action.
None? I wanted to ask before we close up, we're scheduled for 3:30 for one discipline. Is it possible that we wanna maybe push it back to
Just gonna bring
4:30?
that up.
Oh, is it something that can even be done?
I know that the notification's already been sent to the parents, but, I mean, they can send another one.
Are we,
Yeah.
you
I
think
think
we're
that's
gonna
fine.
have more than that one?
At
mean,
this
do you have any
stage, I do
idea?
not forecast, but,
You know,
Students.
student discipline.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
We
We
can,
just
we
got
can,
one person at 3:30, which seems,
Ms. Bush, we can message.
We
Yeah.
can.
We can do it 4:30.
I mean, we've got plenty of time to notify the parent that the time has been changed, but,
Oh, we can call the family directly.
Parent would probably prefer it later anyway,
Yeah.
if they've gotta work.
so what time do y'all wanna come for this one?
I'm available, that matters to me.
Well, we wanna allow
Available
time
too.
to go with somebody.
Yeah, probably 4:30, is that
Okay,
good?
4:30 sounds
Or
good.
even 4 o'clock.
How about 4 o'clock? That way we have
4
plenty of
o'clock,
time.
okay.
I don't wanna rush. How about 4 o'clock instead of 3:30?
Okay.
4 o'clock.
Just let us
We
know
will,
if
yes,
we
ma'am.
change it, if not, just leave
Okay.
it as is.
I will send to, I'll make sure you send it out.
What time, I'm sorry, what time did you?
4 o'clock.
4.
And let's see, school board attorney remarks.
None, thank you.
School board member remarks?
I had a question.
Yes.
So, at our last meeting, I think it was Ms. Garricus asked about, elementary-wide principals, so I was
Yeah.
gonna ask about that.
Yep, it's a good question. I was actually gonna give my update.
Oh.
That's fine. No, that's
Oh, I'm
a
gonna
good
get to
question.
you. Does
It's,
it-
you mean address
There is
else
an
that you
update
asked?
on there, isn't
So we asked individuals if, there's a number of criteria we sent out. If you are at your school a minimum of 3 years, and we wanted that because we want stability within the school district. We don't want someone in 1 year being in their school 2 years and we ripping them out. We need stability. So principals need to be at their school between 3 and 5 years, really to create and make change. So you had to have 3 years. You had to have and you had to be highly effective as well in those 3 years at your school. So we asked everyone who's interested in doing that. We had 4 individuals apply that qualify with that criterion.
it?
Yes, ma'am. So we will have interviews December the 4th. I believe it's going to be from 10 to 12. 10 to 12 that we will come and interview. We've asked them to bring their data profiles and to bring their a vision for what they would create, how they would open a new school and how they would take STEAM and run with it. So we're excited about what they bring. We're only looking for internal candidates, and on December 4th, at the end of the day, I believe that we will have an individual ready to be named. So I'm excited.
And normally the principal gets to choose all the colors and everything. Have you gone ahead and done all that?
Yeah, we did. I mean, at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure we had neutral colors that were nice colors. We are ready to go with that. I think that's a small part of the work that has to be done. Now is we'll focus on recruiting, branding, marketing, identification of implementation of STEAM business partners. So we did very neutral colors anyways. I mean, I get it. It's nice to have someone going in to do it, but
What are the
just-
colors?
yeah, the color scheme.
There's a color palette, Bryce, we can share that maybe in the next workshop and see the
Yeah, or
colors.
I can just.
It's an elementary school. It should be colorful. Neutral. We're
Well,
not doing tans and browns and greens, are we?
I say neutral,
No,
I mean,
you're-
it's not
they
right.
share it
It
with
should
us,
be,
with
you
the-
know, the reds, the blues, the yellows. It
We've
should
got,
be
the architect is gonna give us 3 different options, so we'll be able to choose from those.
I think it gives a real true sense of ownership to let the principal go in and have that decision. And I don't think we as a district, our staff should be making that decision. I just think it's gonna be a much more positive atmosphere
Yes,
and
ma'am.
more successful when the principal gets to go in and set up their school that they're opening up. And I don't know, it's just,
No, I appreciate
I think it's a
feedback.
big deal.
I think any principal going there is gonna be really excited to launch it and expose it, and it's gonna be their school. But at the end of the day, it's Clay County School.
How about this? When is the architect presenting these colors?
I'll follow up with him today.
Okay,
find out.
because I was
They've
just
been
thinking, you
working on
said it was gonna be, what, December the
Fourth,
4th, you're
yes,
gonna
ma'am.
name it? Why don't you, just a suggestion, why don't you, when she gets the 3 suggestions from the
Sure.
architect, have a little meeting and invite the new principal
ma'am.
to come and be able to have, you know,
If we have the leader
say, I love
identified by
it, you
then,
know, or
which we
whatever.
should.
That way, that would kinda help Miss Carricka's feeling about, you know, knowing.
just, you
But-
know,
but I
and if we're
think that
going
would
past
make a-
practice, that's how it's always been
Well,
done.
since it's December 4th, that's not far,
Mhm.
and I think it would probably help the feelings of the new principal, whoever he or she is, to be involved and say, well, here's the 3, and at least, you know, have some kind of voice in it.
Sure.
That would solve the problem, right?
Sounds like
We just want to come together and everybody think.
I just had visions of Orange Park High School. The,
Well, I don't know that story.
what's the wing called where Career and Tech is?
West.
And it's that
Mickey Fields.
horrible blue.
Oh,
And
no,
when
no,
that
no.
came and the
It's like hospital
photos
blue.
that they showed, it was beautiful. It wasn't that color blue. And then this thing went up and I thought,
I had many
this is
conversations
the
with my
worst
carrier about
color
that.
blue.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
back
I
in
am-
the day.
As
It was
you
like-
can, well,
Even
hopefully
the
you can tell,
aluminum
I
didn't
am
look like that in the
very, very
picture.
picky about colors,
had a lot.
about presentation. I believe you get only one chance for an appearance, and that happens in the first 30 seconds when you meet someone or when you walk on someone's campus.
Right.
So I'm big on that, and I promise you it will be very nice school. Very nice.
I'll tell
I'm
you,
gonna guess that the new principal is not going to have blue, based on this commentary.
I want the
No, the
principal
sky
to
blue,
worry about
right,
improving
color.
teaching and
Yeah.
learning. That's what I want the principal.
I have a question. What is your plan for the structure of the CTE leadership department now that there's been some change? I was just curious, are we gonna keep status quo? Because
Yeah,
we restructured
I
that
mean-
a few months back and.
I'm in the process of really, I don't wanna rush into anything. So, I know we have two competent individuals who are really driving work along with Mr. Connor. So, we're in the process of brainstorming to figure out what's the best for this organization. CTE continues to be a priority within our organization. We continue to increase with industry certifications, with more programming, more offerings for kids than we had last year, year before. So we're just in the process of figuring out what's best for this organization right now.
I thought that job was advertised.
The job was it shouldn't have been advertised, let's put it that way.
Oh.
It was posted for maybe a day,
Okay.
and there's questions why, and an individual questioned why. I guess the individual had questions with each of you as well. I elected to take it down because I'm just not prepared to say just because if Terry Dennis resigns today, I'm just not okay with just saying, hey, let's just post a position. The question is where does it fit? What do we need? And what's our direction?
how did it get posted?
Yeah, I do not know, to be honest with you. I just know that it was taken down, and we're in the process.
We would post a position normally if a position became open.
You don't do that until you talk to Mr. Davis.
I guess.
I got it.
Mr. Brodsky.
I know, we've had that conversation.
Shame,
We've had that
shame.
conversation, but at the end of the day, we'll never put the department in a situation where they're not prepared or supported, so.
Well, I'm glad you're looking at it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good question, thank you.
I will have a plan here in the next probably 2 weeks for what we're gonna do.
Very good.
I will be, sorry, I don't want to.
No, it's your turn,
Okay,
Mr.
yeah,
Davis.
so all
Just
those are kind of
talk away.
updates I was going to anyways. I will be sending, you go ahead, ma'am, if you need something.
No, go ahead.
I'll be sending each of you, we started the process of our strategic planning. We now know the time will be up. So I would love for each of you to be actively engaged in the planning of the strategic plan for our school district. I'll be sending each of you somewhat of a draft model of initiatives and initiatives and projects that we'd like to implement, along with big bucket items or areas of focus, along with core values. So I'll be sending that to each of you electronically this week sometime for you to start looking at it and for us to start hosting some workshops for us to start building this process so we can really start to hit the ground running for 2018.
This is that all you?
Yeah, I was gonna, all those were kind of things.
Okay, Ms. Bola, you had
Quick
something?
question. I emailed you and confirmation, December 5th is definitely the day?
Yes, ma'am, December 5th will be the day for our workshop, for my community meeting with Oakleaf,
Do you have the time for that?
6 o'clock.
At Oakleaf Junior.
Oakleaf Junior.
What's that for?
It's just
Would you mind emailing
Discovery
me that
Oaks.
with the dates that
Redistricting.
you refer to for the upcoming meetings? Can you include that?
which we will need to link and start having a discussion about contract language with teachers that will be moved. Hey, HR will
I
engage.
hope November 14th. December 5th is not a good day. Went to the Clay County Education, they're now calling it the Clay County Ed Foundation.
Can they do that?
It is the Clay County Education
So
Foundation.
they just kind of.
So they're referring to themselves as the Ed Foundation, so they don't confuse themselves with the
I like the
association.
deposits, they keep giving me money.
I know, that's the problem.
Messes up my account.
That's the
They
problem,
make
that they
us-
don't.
I got
I
$10,000 more.
totally dropped the whole idea of changing to fax or whatever the acronym was for that. There was a question about the grants that they're going to be awarding teachers, which is coming up. And I said that I would ask if it's okay if they continue with the same protocol that they've done up to this point. The grants are generally for ELA as well as STEM initiatives. They generally go into those initiatives or technology or anything obviously to enhance their classrooms or their teaching opportunities. Last year, close to $40,000 was given out in grants. They were able to give all of the grants. The timing of that, though, starts in December.
Okay.
And you had mentioned at some point possibly talking with them about outlining certain
Right,
grant
how to spend their-
proposals, but it is like coming up
Yep.
like this month, next month.
Can you
They
send the
want us-
contact information for the lead, or do I need to call Ms. Schofield?
It's probably best to call Kathy to start with. She responds pretty quickly. That's why I would call her. So I can tell her that you will be calling her if there's a question
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that. She had said, if you can put together a few minutes just to sit and talk at
Sure.
some point, that'd be ideal,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she would be happy to talk with you on the phone as well. The Teacher of the Year, it's interesting, they have the past 2 Teachers of the Year now, working with the foundation, and they're responsible for the Teacher of the Year program that's coming up in
Good.
January. And those teachers have brought new ideas,
Yeah.
fresh ideas, so
Jessica,
it's
Michelle are good?
gonna be a little different this year. It's going to be very similar in many respects, but it will be somewhat different as well. Instead of just giving the 5 finalists all of the goodies, so to say, they get all of the top stuff, and the rest get a nice bag, and everybody gets, some prizes, whatever. They're going to give, one of the ideas that has come up in this planning is to give an unannounced award. I mean, it gets sort of, it goes on and on as
What do you mean,
everyone's
an
introduced.
unannounced award?
An unannounced award, they put the name out of a hat and they say, hey, Carol Studdard from SBJ, we'd like you to come back up on stage because we'd like to award you a $50 gift card to such and such. That sort of thing.
Oh.
And it's going to be for the teachers as well as for the support employees, and it's just gonna be a little different.
Not just the 5 finalists, but for the others?
All of the 5 finalists get
Okay.
very nice
Right,
prizes.
right, so for
From
the
both,
other, right.
from
Maybe
all
it-
10 finalists
Who
get
from
very
the
nice.
school district sits in on the education?
It
committee?
was
Brenda, should be Brenda.
Brenda Troutman, she had somebody else there
We had
on,
Karen McMillan, I think.
right, right, she's the one at the last meeting.
I didn't know
So is
who from
Brenda
the
the
school district
executive
is kind of the
No,
person.
she is,
So it's-
no, she's a leader.
So it's Brenda?
Kathy's still the executive director, Matt Hutchins is the president, and, yeah, the
But
school.
is it Brenda Troutman or?
Brenda Troutman.
Ms. Troutman is the lead on Teacher of
Technically
the Year.
Brenda, yes. Oh, she's the lead on Teacher of the Year, yes,
And
and
Kathy-
she's sitting in on
And
the,
Kathy
So
is
you're
still,
supposed to set
the executive director.
That's set
She
by
is
the
still the
superintendent.
executive director, and Matt Hutchins is still the president.
But Kathy's
and
no
the
longer
group is
employed in
growing.
the district.
but Kathy's not with the district anymore, is she staying with our
Stay on a board
education?
She's
member?
still working very closely with the district, with Clay
But
County.
does she work for Chartrand?
She does, but her responsibilities include Clay County.
So
And in
maybe
fact, she mentioned that there's another grant, another surprise coming up. Are you aware of that one?
You're talking about Tuesday at Bannerman?
No, that's
Yeah.
a lunch. And she will get with
I know
you,
the
and
professor was,
she just found out about it.
yeah,
And from AT&T,
no,
had you heard that one? She will be talking to you
Good.
about that as well. Trying to set up a time early December to surprise a teacher, another
I will
teacher. You
get- I
saw the
will-
surprises that went through from the Amazon.
Yeah.
It was in the
Yeah.
news, it was on our website, it was flashed a
Yeah.
lot, which was very good.
And going forward, when you all know about those ahead of time, can the board be involved? Because
Yes.
that, when the news was there and
Yeah.
Amazon gave a bunch of money,
That's where even
Gary
more
Chartrand,
Sure.
Sim to Hub did,
Yeah.
and we
None
looked
of us
like we
knew
didn't.
about it.
sure,
Like
so,
they didn't care.
this is and this
Well,
Well, that's
was,
the one
I
this
think that I
week, too.
sent you an
There's one this
email.
week.
I think I sent you,
We're all missing it because we're out in
But you said
Tallahassee.
that
That's a
wasn't
lunch.
happened yet.
this
correct, so I
It's a
sent,
$60,000 grant they're
I believe I
getting.
sent an email to each of you about the Amazon, so, and to go, we're appreciative of what Amazon did along with Educational Foundation for matching, but they didn't let us drive that at all, so we were just going, my understanding, we're just gonna meet them at a school and go to school and just drop it off, and that way we wouldn't have so many people go into a classroom. However, when we got there, and even Nicole didn't know, the first thing I pulled Nicole aside, and when I got there, there was everywhere. There was news, there was reporters going, Nicole, what is this? This is not what we create. She goes, Addison didn't let us drive it, we didn't know about it, so
We can't.
I had to
have
start,
that.
initiate, I had to speak,
No,
I had to do
we can't.
interviews, so,
We just have
so
to
we
ask.
know that,
I'd rather us have a bunch of people there and nobody show up than
Yeah.
look like we
It-
don't care,
well-
because
Right.
we're all the elected
Yeah.
officials also with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it matters.
So I agree, that's why I sent an email the same day telling each of you that, A, I didn't know it was gonna happen this way, and B, didn't know it was gonna be created.
And
But
it
I can
won't be
tell
that
you,
way again.
I can tell you that lessons learned on the sense that we will no longer allow, Nicole knows this, we will no longer allow someone else to drive the media rush. When it comes to our school district, we will drive it and Nicole will own it. That way that you will have the press release, you'll know what's going on, you have the option of being there for those of y'all who want to attend.
Yeah, but then this one, you know, the $60,000 at Bannerman was planned when we all
Town
have to be at
Right.
FSBA.
That was
And-
poor planning on
and-
someone's part.
And I don't believe,
Yeah, they
I
had
think-
only a couple of
I
dates
think that's
for
the
that
only
too,
date that they
yeah.
could
Well,
do
you should have shared it with the board and let the board
Yeah.
let you know what days were available, cause we're gone all
I
week.
think it was them. So,
'Cause all five
trust me,
board
we want
members
everyone to be there.
It
We're
seems,
trying to
it,
be
it just seems to
inclusive.
happen a lot, that we
It
find
does.
out after the fact of things, and, you know, there's nothing worse than turning on News for Jacks and having, and seeing, oh, that's going
That's
on with the
nice.
Clay
I
High
wish
School
it
District,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't know about it.
We'll make certain that you're apprised of everything that's offered us. We know,
I'm with you.
we know.
We,
Yeah, it just
we
doesn't look
need
nice.
to determine what that date's going to be done in December.
For,
That first week of December for the AT&T grant.
Oh,
It's a
yeah, I'll-
$2,000 surprise grant,
yeah,
and that will be coming up, but there's no date definite yet.
Sure.
There's no time definite yet.
I will get with Schofield
And
this
she
week.
asked me to
Yeah.
talk to you about it so
Yeah.
that we could notify it for.
I'll get with her this week, we'll figure it out.
I mean,
She
we also
heard
need to
that.
make
She
sure
heard
that when
that.
it's a grant, there's an outside entity that's
Correct,
donating to
correct,
our
correct.
schools, and you kind of have to,
Mhm.
you're at their mercy
Yep.
as
I
far as
mean,
scheduling goes, so.
I mean,
Not always, most of the time they're flexible.
But you do need to show support and appreciation from your board.
No, I
And it's
agree, I'm
important
not
for the
saying we
board to be
shouldn't
there,
be there,
showing
I'm just
that,
saying let's
you know.
consider all the factors that go into
So send
scheduling.
us some dates and we'll all see
They-
what we can work out.
They currently have close to, I wanna say just under plus $50,000, under 50. And one of the reasons is because they did give those grants or those monies to the STEM teachers that you went around and gave them money to as well.
that's right.
They're talking about having approximately $40,000 for the grants. So the sooner we can get that out, the sooner we can get the applications out for those,
Yeah.
the sooner that money turns around back to the
I'll get
teachers.
with
There's still
Schofield.
$500
There's
grants?
still $500 grants,
Let
which,
me-
and last year they were able to give all of the applicants the
Let
money.
me,
Probably won't happen this year.
let me, would you make sure
Mhm.
that, the money that was given in honor of Carol Valancourt,
It's, yes,
Frank wanted to make sure that that went to that. Will you make sure?
Yes,
that
it
it's
is going to
okay,
that.
Good.
number one. Number two, it's getting close. I'm thinking that that total is going to be around $2,000 perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about doing a, I need to talk with Frank about this.
I'll get
But
your cell
I'm-
number if you need it.
Yeah, I've got to, and want to talk to him about doing a, for want of a better word, a little memorial for Carol
Yeah.
at the Teacher of
And
the
be
Year
sure,
Awards, with
be
pictures
sure
and
that
stuff.
his three girls.
Oh, yes,
and
oh,
yeah,
yes,
and
yeah.
everybody,
In fact, they did such beautiful tributes on Facebook to her
Oh, yeah.
that I wanted to use their
Yeah.
information if I could and
And this
talk
is-
with them and see what them is okay.
I just wanna make sure they don't get left out. because
No,
he-
not at all.
He really said we want to do.
I have not contacted him yet, but he will be
Okay,
contacted this week.
okay. Are you?
I'm good,
Oh,
I'm good.
Maya, you're short today. Board members, do any of you have any comments?
No.
Okay, now, what day are y'all going, you going to Tampa today? I'm going today. We've got meeting tomorrow.
Well, we have one tomorrow afternoon, so I'm not going till
Are
tomorrow.
you going in the morning?
My son
Are you
leaves
going
in the morning.
Tomorrow,
But
okay.
I'm going tonight.
Are you?
I start in the morning for the Florida
The
Trust
other
Trust,
meeting, okay.
Board of Trustees.
Okay, well, I will see y'all in Tampa. What days will you be there, Ms. Page?
I will be there Wednesday. I'm gonna drive Wednesday morning. I'll be there early by 8 or 9 o'clock
Wednesday,
in the morning.
Thursday too?
I'll stay Thursday. I'll leave Thursday afternoon to come back.
We'll have you for 2 whole days?
I'll be there for 2 days.
They must not have any deer hunting. Okay, if anyone else have any comments you want to make before we adjourn? Okay, we're adjourned.